Hi, Nat. Welcome to the MasterCard Cup. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play on through. We'll put you back in your dress position, and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we get you back here in your dress position, let's take a look at your setup. Posture looks good, spine straight and on a nice tilt. Legs come down into a nicely unlocked position. Arms hang down nice and naturally in front of you, and the club works out to the ball. So achieving some pretty solid posture there in association with good balance. Looks really, really good. Let's also go ahead and take a look at your alignment. We can see your feet aiming in this direction here. Carry that out towards the intended target. Now theoretically your club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet, and parallel lines on camera would have an appearance to converge. And with that philosophy in mind, we can see that you're set up probably right down the left center of the fairway, so no issues. Let's go ahead and do a little split screen comparison between you and Chela Choi. I've got some color-coded lines on the screen just to use as a visual reference as it pertains to swing plane. Now, when we draw a golf club back, there's a few key things we want to happen. First, we want to turn our shoulders. So you can see Chela turning her shoulders there. We also want to extend our arms. So we can see as she turns her arms, she extends her arms back towards us and works them around her body. In association with that, we want to also establish some good wrist hinge into play. So that means we want to basically take the club head from currently being positioned below and in front of our hands and getting that club head to transition above and behind the hands. So that little move right there, that wrist hinge, getting that club head to go from below and in front to above and behind, is a really, really important move in the golf swing. Okay? And what we notice is when we do that, that club is following that red line. And then from here, it works from red up to yellow. So she has full shoulder rotation. She has great arm extension. She created the wrist hinge. And she did all this about a very stable right leg. So let's watch you initiate your takeaway here. We can see that you draw your hands back. So that's great. But you draw the golf club to the inside or underneath the swing plane. Just means the club shaft and club head have moved to the left of the red line. Through here we can see that your wrists remain very stiff with the golf club. So we're not creating a wrist hinge right now. The club head is not working above and behind the hands. The club will get behind the hands here because you're drawing the club around you nicely. But at this point in time, that club head should also be above your hands. So it may take you a while before we see this club head get above your hands because we're not creating a wrist hinge. So we can still see how stiff-wristed forearmed we are with the golf club. Okay? So at this point in time, you're at the top of your backswing. You've turned your shoulders well. Pretty stable right side. You're maintaining your posture. So everything looks good except for the fact that the arms are too shallow, meaning the left arm needs to be up a little closer to the yellow line as we see with Chela Choi. And we definitely have to learn how to create proper wrist hinge in the golf swing. Right now all your power is going to come from your turn and your weight transfer. You're not going to get any club head speed via your hands because we haven't stored any energy in our hinge. So it'd be like a pitcher throwing a ball. Takes his arm back, cocks his wrist, steps through, snaps his wrist at the last second, we create a lot of speed. If we don't cock our wrists, it'd be like shot putting. Well, we're not going to get any speed with no snap. So the same thing applies here. If we don't get that wrist hinge, we're not going to create any speed with the golf club. So at this point in time, we see quite a difference in the set position with respect to where the left arm is, where the arms are in general, and that wrist hinge. Now as we swing through, what do we want to happen? Well, we want to fire the hands through and bring the right heel up off the ground. And carry that right heel off the ground up onto the toe of the right foot so we can count the spikes in the shoe. That allows us to get to a good finish. So now the hips can face the target, the shoulders can fully rotate, the hands are high, and the club's back in behind us. Let's watch you move through the golf ball and see how you do with your footwork. So you're firing your hands, but we're really not creating, well, you're creating footwork late, so that's good. At least that footwork is happening and you're getting yourself through to a finish. Now in your finishing position, I would like to see that your hands finish higher. Look how your left arm is cemented against your rib cage there, and your hands are very low. So again, what we're seeing is we're not creating a golf swing that's involving the hands very much and the arms. It's all your body. Okay? So definitely need to learn how to create proper wrist hinge in the golf swing, learn how to store more energy when we bring the club back. Once we store that energy, now we got something to send through, and we can learn how to create some hand speed. Okay? Because your golf swing in general looks pretty good. I mean, your hands do work well. They come back and they fire through. Your core works well. You coil, you uncoil. You got good footwork. It allows you to get to a finish. It's a little bit late as we witnessed, but at least that footwork is working. But right now it's just your turn. Like your turn, you basically turn and you turn. So how fast can you do that with your footwork? And that's going to be indicative of how far you're hitting the ball, because we're really not creating a lot of hand speed via creating wrist hinge and then being able to store more power and fire that power through by now swinging the mass of the club because we have that wrist hinge. Okay? So golf swing's looking really good. Just really very first and foremost thing you need to do is you just need to improve your backswing here, where we roll the forearms better, create better wrist hinge, get the arms set a little bit more steep, and then from there go ahead and send that club through, and golf swing will look very, very different. And then beyond that, you can go ahead and fine-tune some other things. But good job. Like I said, incorporate some wrist hinge, a little higher finish too. Golf swing will really, really change. Okay? Anyways, hope you had a great day, and hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video. Take care.